Question 5 was to do with functions. It told you the function f of x is equal to x squared minus x minus 6. So it's a quadratic function. When you think about the quadratic function, it's a positive x squared. So if you had to draw it, it has to look like a smile. But anyway, part 1, it asks you to write down the coordinates of your y-intercept of f of x. So y-intercept means x is equal to 0. So you're plugging in x is equal to 0 into the equation. So you get f of 0, which means 0 squared minus 0 minus 6. So you get a minus 6 is your answer. So the y-intercept is 0 minus 6. Part 2, it asks you to solve the equation f of x equals to 0. So in other words, y is equal to 0. Solve it and sketch your graph. All right, so if we're solving it, you write down your function, let it equal to 0. In terms of solving, we go 1 times 6, which gives you 6. Get the factors, which are 3 and 2. Use 3 and 2 to get minus 1. So we get x squared minus 3x plus 2x minus 6 is 0. Look at the first two terms. What have they got in common? They've got x in common, so we take out an x minus 3. Rewrite x minus 3 again. And then you look at the last two terms and go, what did I have to take out? So I had to take out a plus 2. Rewrite it as two brackets, so you're getting x plus 2, x minus 3, and then solve them. So we had an x plus 2 is equal to 0. So in other words, x is equal to minus 2. You had x minus 3 is equal to 0. So x equals plus 3. And your points are in the form of minus 2, 0 and 3, 0. The zeros are here because you got told your function was equal to 0. So then if we plot it, you have your two roots of the equation. You have your y-intercept, so you just join them up. In terms of joining them up, we get a smile. All right, so if we get a smile, we are happy because it was an x squared function. For part B of question 5, they had given us 4 functions. It said they were sketched to match each function with its graph. So if we look at the 4 pictures, this is a smile, this is a frown. This is a smile, so I know the function has to be an x squared, positive x squared. If it's a frown, I know it has to be a minus x squared. So in terms of the functions they had given me, A was an x squared function, so I know this graph has to be function A. D was a minus x squared function, so I know that one had to be the D. Then I'm left with these two, which are linear functions because they're giving me lines. In terms of the line, this is a downhill line, this is an uphill line. So if this is a downhill line, when I would have the function in the form y equals mx plus c, so the normal equation of a line, it's downhill, so it will have a minus number in front of my x. So when, again, I look at the functions they have given me, I'm looking for a linear function. So linear functions, I have b or I have c. I'm looking at the term in front of the x, so this is a negative term in front of the x, this is a positive term in front of the x, so this is a downhill, so that will be my first function. And this is an uphill, so that will be my third function. So your order should be B, A, C, D.